Welcome back. We're going to configure our SenseCap M2 gateway so that we can use it. But I think the first thing is like when we're new to all the LoRaWAN, it's not just like setting up your internet router. There's so many other pieces. And so what I've found here is that actually using the architecture and looking at it can kind of help us understand what's next, how to keep this really, really simple. Is that, your goal here is to have devices, and then they're using the advantage of LoRa to be able to do long distance communication. And then you have your gateway. Now, your gateway in a lot of like other videos initially have you then you have to learn yet another technology over here, which is like the ThingsNetwork and SenseCap, and that still hasn't even got to this other place where you might use some type of UI interface, like ThingsBoard on top of that, which is a whole nother technology too. And then even within learning things here, you can send the communication up, but then you're going to have to parse it out and learn all of those steps. One of the reasons that I got this device, there's a couple others that do this, is that it has built-in Chirpstack. And you're like, okay, why would I use built-in Chirpstack? Built-in Chirpstack is a free version, not exactly the same, but it does essentially the same thing as ThingsNetwork. And now you can have all of that running inside of here and not have to log into yet another website to be able to see, did my device communicate here, and then did it come up to either the ThingsNetwork or Chirpstack. And so I'll show you how to configure that. Another thing to think about is if maybe your neighbors have gateways also, is that there's zones specifically, and so you can think of it as different phone numbers. There's different zones, and so you can use a different zone. I think most people configure this, that it is set up with just the default zone, and you can move that around, especially if your devices are struggling to connect or be configured. You can take that step, and that can be really helpful for you. So I'm going to walk you through all of that, but I think this is the place to look again at the architecture, decide where you're going to do, and then it also helps you kind of understand is that when you're using the LoRaWAN setup, it's a lot more kind of complicated than if you just have your local internet and you connect up your Wi-Fi to the device and it's working right away. There's a lot more steps involved, and this is where actually thinking about your architecture can help you from the beginning. So let's follow along, and I'll walk you through all those steps. All right, we're going to log in here to what they call Lucy, or the configuration. To get here, I've done a couple other videos, one on how to connect using Ethernet, another one using the hotspot. This password here is the password that is located on the bottom of your device, unless you have already updated that password, which I do recommend for security. And then this IP address here is the IP address that has been assigned to your specific device. Those other videos will walk you through how to get there. So go ahead and log in. And then we'll talk about kind of what's important here, just the basics of, what needs to, kind of show up here. This X, oddly enough, is fine. This is working. There's lots of data here of the LoRa packets as they're coming in. Um, the channel analysis is really interesting. It shows you kind of like your ability to kind of diagnose. It provides a lot of data. If you're having issues with noise and maybe some of your devices, and this is where I'll talk about later a little bit here, is this is all of Like here, for me, these are all my neighbors and all of their Wi-Fi, and so it's picking up and providing me really kind of details on the strength of all of those signals around me, which later can help you if you're running into problems. On the system here, we'll let it pop up. You can go ahead and sync with browser, save and apply, just get the time synchronization up. You may, in the future, want to change the keep live for some testing purposes, but right now we can leave it as is. When I had initially come into here, seems like there's a little glitch now, but this is a place where you can, on your device, you should see something that would enable you to update here. I would recommend that you do archive that so you could restore it. If there's an issue with any of these updates, you can do that. You can also go out. The website does show you how to flash um, firmware update. So you can leave that for now, but if you do want, would recommend kind of updating so you have the newest OS so that you don't run into issues there. They do have two more things here, which you can reboot. A reboot timer may be helpful if your machine is if you see some glitches maybe after a week or something, you can enable this boot timer. So maybe just reboot, every 7 days or something like that, to prevent glitches. But right now, not seeing any issues, so I'm not going to do that, but that can be helpful for you too. Shutdown is just simply that. It enables you to shut down your device. And then, administration here, this is so that you can change the device password. So it'll be different than the one that is listed on the bottom of your device, which helps for security reasons. And then, let's see, we'll go to network. Actually, up until this point, you didn't need to do anything. This gives the details of your connection if you had WLAN or LAN set up. Also, if you right now I'm connected to Ethernet, but if you did want to connect your device up to your local Wi-Fi or a Wi-Fi in a building that you have set up, maybe it's a greenhouse or something like that, you can come here, you can scan, and it'll scan and it'll show all the different Wi-Fis that are available, and you can join that network. So you can do it either, like I said, I prefer the Ethernet if I can, but this maybe allows you to, also use Wi-Fi. I haven't had any issues using Wi-Fi. It's kind of your choice. Um, let's see, multi-WAN. Okay, this just gives you kind of your local networks. Like I've had this up and running for 15 hours. And then if you, this is really helpful to be able to say, hey, from the device, can I ping? So if it's like, I'm not sure this is working, I'm not sure that I'm connected properly, this enables you to do a quick debug. It gives you also, the ability to kind of see, from where I am, and maybe you connected up to a client's Wi-Fi access point and you're running into issues. Here, based on looking from inside the device, you can actually see what the download and upload rates are. which enables you to, maybe think about using either a different Wi-Fi or switching something up so that you have a better connection. So this can be really helpful as just a kind of a gut check before you go any further to make sure that like these things are working properly. If you see this working right, then at least you know that your network is working properly. Okay, so we have, and this gets back to the network. Okay, so, or the architecture. So we have a SenseCap model which will forward the packets to the SenseCap network. Then there's a packet forwarding network which allows you to use things like the ThingsNetwork, which is again is that intermediate place that captures all your packets, and then we'll do some processing, and I'll do additional videos on that. But the processing is that there's a lot of like raw data sent from the devices, and we need to make that kind of human readable, so then we can interface with that, and talk the, because an example of that is they might give you just 1, 2, and 3, and you're like, okay, what does 1, 2, and 3 mean? Well, it could be for the battery life. Like 1 might mean that it's doing well, 2 means that it needs to be changed, and 3 means that it's danger. But all of that data needs to be interpreted, and this is the things that we can do in the Things Network. Um, I haven't used Basic Station, but this is how you would connect to that. And then the last one is the local network. So the local network is, when we go back to that architecture diagram, that is the built-in Chirpstack. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Apply here. And you'll see right here at the very bottom, it says, hey, to access Chirpstack, and you'll notice this is the same IP address that I have up here. To access Chirpstack, I will type in 8080. Oops, I think I was probably already logged in. Let me log out. So you'll get something like this, and then it'll be admin by default. And then you can log in, and now you have your gateway here, and it'll be it is automatically set up to send the packets up to Chirpstack, and then in Chirpstack, and then when I was talking about before, you can add these device profiles on interpreting the data, and now you don't have now that also the benefit here is that you don't actually have to have the access sending data to the outside internet at this point if you're just doing it all within Chirpstack. And then from Chirpstack, we can set up additional ways of connecting to things like, ThingsBoard, or there are other UIs where we can then make that even more user friendly. Um, to see that data kind of in real time, like updated UI dashboard. So right now we've been able to connect here. Now we don't have any devices set up, but that was all that we needed to do. One thing you'll notice here, when you go to regions, you'll see that this region right now is F2. F2 is the default region that almost all of these different gateways set up. And this is one place where I like to take a little extra time, and I like to kind of change that. And so if you come here under channel plan, you'll see the different regions here. Here I'm in the US, and that's the device that I chose, but you'll see you can choose different channels. And the advantage of this is LoRaWAN, has these really long distances, and if you're in a farming community, others may be using, this channel by default. I would recommend, setting up a different channel here, especially if you have multiple different gateways and you're running them independently at your place. And click Save and Apply. And we should be able to confirm this. This is now it says that. I'm going to go back to the LoRaWAN, and I have the local network. I'm going to say Save and Apply. And we shall find out. Let me close, let me log out of this. Okay, and I'll log back in. We'll make sure that this works the way. Yes. So now it is pointing to region 5, which means that those others, if there's a whole bunch of other gateways that are all using the default region 2, we're now within the same frequency band for US, but we've moved over a little bit. So there should be less noise for getting that up and running. And then once we do have data coming in and out between our devices, we'll start to see the packets show up here, our LoRaWAN packets. This is already just the default of the gateway itself, but you can start to see the data of the packets that are being received here. This helps a lot in debugging. So this is the kind of the basics of getting Chirpstack set up. Again, you can come here and you can switch over to SenseCap. If you do the SenseCap, you can use their app to bind it, which is essentially register it to the same thing, which would be like Chirpstack. Same thing here on the packet forwarding. You can get a free ThingsBoard account. Now you're like, maybe one of the reasons is why not just go with ThingsBoard? You can, but under their commercial license, it can get quite costly. And I would say there's no advantages here. Also here, you're reducing, like you're keeping all the load here. So if the internet happens to go down at your place, you're still getting all these packets. You're still processing all this data. When you do use something like Chirpstack locally and it's easy to access, it's right here. I'll do another video where we'll set up a couple different devices and we'll send commands up. I can also show you how to, if you have a relay or something, to turn off switches for power. So good luck with that. I'll come back. I will create a separate video on how to connect to ThingsBoard. And one nice thing though with ThingsBoard and Chirpstack is you can connect to them with all the different gateways. I haven't used the SenseCap, and maybe you can, but SenseCap isn't necessarily configured. So if you go out to maybe a client's and they have a different gateway set up, it sometimes it's more helpful to possibly use something like this that you have in the cloud. You can still run, you could still do packet forwarding, and you can do a custom here. You could install Chirpstack on your local machine and be running Chirpstack like on your local Mac or Windows, or you could have it in the cloud. You can get that set up separately too if that's how you want to configure it. You don't have to necessarily just go to ThingsNetwork, but it's nice to try out ThingsNetwork. So if someone else has it configured with ThingsNetwork, you understand it, but they're so closely related and doing the same thing that Chirpstack does. It's just Chirpstack is open source and free to use. do this, leave it as that. And so good luck with this. And I'll have additional videos now on, especially like with, we'll have the Chirpstack and then the future things board, how to get a device set up. Because that's really kind of the next thing is like, how do I get sensors set up? How do I read them in? How do I get them connected? And now that you have this up and running, that comes a lot easier. And especially if you just start by using the local Chirpstack, we can have it all here, right? We don't even have to go that far. We'll start to get data. We'll be able to see it actually from here. We have the ability to send commands down to the devices, and we can get this up and running for you so that you can at least feel comfortable that, hey, I've been able to have a device connected and I'm able to communicate down to device. So good luck.